Hi everybody, I'm Sayaji, and this is our anti-bullying program, and this video is a lecture. Parents, I need you to watch the lectures with your child because some of the concepts we discuss are fairly complex, and you know your child way more than I'll ever be able to know your child. So watch the videos with them and then discuss them and make sure that the main points are well understood. Thank you. This is Sayaji Dan, and I wanted to talk about assertive speaking. Assertive speaking is probably the most powerful tool we have when dealing with bullies and potentially dangerous situations. Assertive speaking is not aggressive speaking. It is not permission-seeking speaking. It is not anything to do with the other person. Assertive speaking is a psychological way of talking that presents you as the authority. And we are trained and taught from childhood to respond to authority and follow their directions. So, when we speak assertively, we tend to psychologically take control of the situation. Even if assertive speaking doesn't leave you as the head in charge of the situation, psychologically it makes people more likely to listen to you and more likely to allow you to get what it is you're looking for. So, what is assertive speaking? Assertive speaking is speaking loudly, clearly, calmly, and using that type of speech to tell, not ask. What do I mean? Here's what I mean. Here's a perfect example of assertive speaking for a bullying situation. Stop. Leave me alone. I'm leaving and you're staying. Goodbye. That's assertive speaking right there. Here's bad assertive speaking. Stop. Please don't touch me. I want to leave. See the difference? One, I said, please don't touch me. I asked the bad guy to not be a bad guy. Wrong. Tell the bad guy he's not allowed to be a bad guy. Stop. You aren't allowed to touch me. I want to leave? You don't want to leave. You are leaving. Be proactive and be assertive. Tell what's going to happen. Tell what you expect them to do and expect compliance. We have a term that's called assumed compliance. When you tell people they're going to do things as if you assume they're going to do things, they tend to do the things. It's just a psychological way we were raised. You're going to stop. I'm leaving. Don't follow me. That's assertive speaking. Sometimes assertive speaking has to get very close to aggressive speaking, but you want to avoid crossing that line. We call it the or else line. We don't say, stop, you're not going to touch me, or else. Or else is aggressive. We don't want to be aggressive. We want to avoid aggression. What we want to do is de-escalate the situation through assertive speaking. We want to take charge of the situation through assertive speaking. We don't want to become the aggressor. We don't want to be the new bully. We want to stop violence of any type from happening. Physical, emotional, mental. We want to stop. And assertive speaking is an incredibly powerful tool for this. I have linked an article that talks about a study done that assertive speaking all by itself tremendously reduced the numbers of assaults amongst the target group. Now, I want you to read that article and I want you to think about what that means. Not punching, not kicking, not blocking, assertive speaking, all by itself, prevented assaults. So this is profoundly important if you find yourself in this situation. The bully is bigger, faster, stronger than you. Oh, that's most of them, right? Not all of them, of course. But we always assume that the bad guy will be bigger, faster, and stronger than us, because that helps us envision what we'd have to do. We always place ourselves, when we're imagining these things, in the worst possible scenario. Because maybe you're in a wheelchair and you have to move it by yourself, which means you might not be able to escape because you might have to keep your hands up to protect yourself and you can't move your wheels. You might be much younger and smaller than the person. You might be physically weaker than the person. And so your skills at punching and kicking and wrestling and all that stuff might not be your best choice. But assertive speaking is always a powerful tool. You should always do that. And if you are a quiet person, you need to get louder, because assertive speaking needs to be the loudest voice in the room. You have been in a situation in your life where someone yelled, everyone stopped, and everyone turned and looked at who was yelling. That is a built-in reaction to louder, assertive speaking. It is also a reaction to screaming and crying and yelling, because that's a fear response. What's going on? Do I need to run away? But we're also trained to just pay attention to that. So if you go, stop, leave me alone, you are not touching me and I'm leaving, and you're the loudest voice in the room, every head in the room is going to turn and look and see what's going on. That's a powerful tool to prevent an aggressive response from the bully. Assertive speaking, and in its essence, is essentially you being the boss. Take over, be in charge. Good bosses don't yell and scream. Don't yell and scream. Just be loud. Good bosses don't threaten. So don't threaten. Just tell them what's going to happen. Good bosses have a plan. They tell everybody what's going to happen in that plan, and they facilitate that plan. Be the boss. This is stopping. You're not going to touch me. I'm leaving. Stay there. You just became the boss. And people are trained to listen to their boss and do what their boss says. That's assertive speaking. You should practice assertive speaking, making sure you don't become aggressive, and making sure you don't ask permission. Those are the two things that kill assertive speaking. Never, ever get aggressive, and never, ever ask permission. Because then you're not the boss, they are. And those are the key concepts to take away from assertive speaking. Read the links in this video down below and educate yourself about the power of assertive speaking.